studies essentially. Had a fantastic education, had a PhD. You all know what PhD is, right?
Bachelor of Honours degree?
Yeah, no, it actually stands for poor, hungry and desperate. Yeah? And I don't mean poor to the point where I didn't have any money. I mean poor to the point where I wasn't living a life that I wanted to live. I was living a life that I had to live based on the income that I was receiving. Can any of you relate to that? Yeah. A couple of you, rest of you obviously just wealthy. And just hungry and desperate to get out the rat race. You know, I had very big goals, very big dreams, and I couldn't see myself achieving those on my 9-to-5 job. So back in December 2010, I officially sacked my boss. And a lot of people look at me and say, well, how do you sack your boss? Have any of you ever seen the show The Apprentice before? Yeah. I sent my boss a picture of Alan Sugar. I sent him this picture. Underneath it said, you're fired.
You sent that to him?
I sent that to him. I sent it to him, but not only did I send it to him, I CC'd 600 members of staff in the email. And a lot of people thought that was a bit of an ego, but it had nothing.
You don't want CC?
You heard me, you just didn't believe what I said. You heard me clearly, because you repeated it back to me. I sent it to him and then also carbon copied every member of staff in the college. Yeah, and like I said, a lot of people thought that was a bit of an ego, but it actually had nothing to do with that. What happened was in August 2010, that same year, my grandfather sadly passed away. And up at that point, I never had a day of work, never had a day off sick in 10 years. I asked for 2 days off, one for the funeral, the second day just to recover. I don't know if any of you ever planned a funeral before, but it's quite a long and tiring process. And they turned around and said no. So they're only entitled to 1 day.
Wicked people.
And then a month later, my cousin passed away, and this wasn't a distant cousin, this was my uncle's daughter. I asked if I could attend the funeral, and they said no. So if it's not a parent, a grandparent, or a sibling, you're not allowed to attend. And I realized at that point in my life, when people pay you a salary, they feel they have so much control over you and your time. How many of you can relate to that? Okay, more hands going up now. So I got very focused over the last 6 months of me being there. It's actually pretty good with money anyway. So from what I saved from when I was younger, what I saved from my business that I was running part-time at the time, and what I saved from my job, I managed to save up 2 years' salary. So it meant that if I didn't work for 2 years, I could still pay my bills, I could still pay my mortgage, I could still run my car, and I could still eat. One of the hardest decisions of my life was giving up my full-time job. One of the best decisions of my life was giving up my full-time job. You know, I honestly believe that sometimes in life you have to be prepared to burn the bridge.
Yeah.
If you don't burn the bridge, you always feel like you have an escape route. Whereas you just burn the bridge, you're only left with 12 options, and down was never an option for me. Forward was the only other option that I had. And on my last day, one of my mentors drove up to the college in a Rolls Royce, rolled out a red carpet, bottles of champagne, balloons. I don't drink, but I'm also a firm believer if you're going to sack your boss, you make sure you go out with some stuff. And I never forget, a lot of people come to me and say, well, Darryl, did you attend the funerals? I said, well, of course I attended the funerals, it's family. I just called in sick. And when they asked me what I'm sick with, I said, I'm sick of working here. You can go put that down in your records as a medical condition. And it's funny, when you start to make some additional money, you have this level of boldness that tends to come over you. And that's kind of how I got involved in finance. Why I fell in love with it though, was because of certain things that I had experienced growing up. I don't know if any of you know this, but 72 to 73% of all family breakups are typically because of lack of money. Yeah, and that's what happened in my family. You know, my dad wanted to have more children. My mum said we can't afford it. My dad said we'll work it out. My mum said we can't afford it. And my parents that were together for 18 years, married for 12 of those years, separated when I was 15 years old. My mum then got severely depressed and she overdosed. Yeah, and she was in a coma for 4 days, and that was tough because literally like that, at 15 years old, I became the man of the house. My dad used to take me to work with him in a building site on the weekends and pay me a salary so that I could pay the mortgage. So at 15 years old, I took on mortgage payments. At the age of 18, they transferred the mortgage into my name. I truanted from school for 3 months just before my GCSE exams. Not because I was a bad student, I was just scared that when I came home I was going to find my mum dead, because she was quite suicidal at that point. So I just wanted to be around the local estate in case something happened. However, even though I bunked school for 3 months, if you looked on the school register, they had me marked in as attended. Even though, so I hadn't been there for 3 months, but it had me marked in as present, which tells you how screwed up the whole educational system can be. Kind of also tells you how gifted and talented that I was, because to bunk school for 3 months and not get caught, that is a gift. Yeah, you just got to know how to operate that in that gift in the right arena.
Kids, don't listen to this, okay?
And I'm sure there is a business model there that I can create and sell back to the youth of today and actually make an income. No, don't listen to that. But call me later. But in the 10 years that I've been in education, I realized there was typically 4 reasons why people do not make it financially. I encourage you to write these down, use your phone, use your notepad. Are you guys okay from myself?
Yeah.
Are you okay by myself? I'm just quite real with you.
Keep it real.
Right, because that's the only way I know how to do things. If you ever come to an event like this, make sure you show up with a notepad and pen. You do like because you're not going to remember most of the stuff. There's be some amazing.
Anyone want some paper?
No, I don't have time for paper. You give me a time clock. So use your mobile phone or something to just write notes, right? So I said there's 4 reasons why people do not make it financially. So first reason why people do not make it financially, there is a failure to plan. Yeah. So failure to plan. Second reason, people are uninformed. So people are uninformed. I'll go through this quite quick. Second reason, people are misinformed. So people are misinformed. And the last reason, I'll come to the last one in a minute. Okay, so first reason I said was what? Failure to plan. So show of hands, nice and high. How many of you have ever been to a wedding before? Okay. Right, and how long is that wedding ceremony is pretty much a whole day, right? Now, how long does it take to plan a wedding on average? Yeah, a couple of years, yeah. Do any of you know how long the average retirement is from the moment that you retire at the age of 67 now to the moment you kind of pass away and you meet your maker? Do any of you know how long that period of time is? From retirement to death? 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Okay, just so you know, the average man in the UK lives to the age of 85. The average lady lives to the age of 87. I do not know why you ladies get an extra 2 more years than us men. So scientifically, they found that men die sooner because we want to. We've had enough and we can't take the nagging anymore. That's what I've been told. Yeah? But I've also been told that women live longer because they got tied up the mess that we have created as men. Yeah? So I'm not sure which one of those is true. But I understand if you retire at retire at 67 and life expectancy is 85, 87, that's another 20 years worth of living. Yeah? Do you realize that most people will put more time and effort into planning a 2-week holiday than 20 years of their life? They put more time and effort into planning a 1-day event, a wedding, a 2-week memory than 20 years of their life. So can we agree that there's a failure to plan?
Yeah.
Can we agree there's a failure to plan?
Yeah.
Okay. So the second reason I said was what? Uninformed. How many of you remember, what about this? What's the first thing that comes out your pay slip before you see it? Tax. And some of you said, looking at Vex like it's my fault, like I took the money from you. You're looking at tax. Like it's me that took it. Yeah? You're the one with the job that gets the tax. Right. Now, how many of you remember learning about basic tax laws in school? No? How many of you remember learning about the rule of 72 or pound cost averaging in school? No? So understand, if you don't understand what those things are and you're looking at me like, what is that? And you don't have those things working for you, you have them working against you. Yeah? So can we agree that people are uninformed? Yeah. Okay. So third reason I said was what? Now just shout out some answers. Where do most people go to get advice about money?
The bank.
Internet, banks, where else? Friends, family.
People who have less money than
people have less money than them. Okay. So let's break this down. So I heard a lot of you say the banks. Now what business are the banks in?
money then.
So what business does the bank have teaching you how to pay your mortgage or your debts off sooner?
No.
Okay, if they teach you how to pay your mortgage or debt off sooner, that means you pay them less interest, which means they get less of a bonus. But yet a lot of people go to the bank to get advice about money. Do any of you work bank in Barclays? Right? Now I walked past Barclays in Stratford today. There is no staff in Barclays anymore. Security guards and machines. So you can't even talk to anyone to get advice about money, yes or no? Yeah? I heard financial advisors. There are some amazing financial advisors out there. Where did a lot of them used to work though? So the banks only need to make money. The financial advisors work in the bank. So some of them, not all of them, are very commission driven. So whatever one gives you the most, whatever product gives them the most commission, that's the one they sell. Yeah, but not all of them are like that. I heard someone say the internet. Now we all know the internet tells the truth, right? No, but you can learn from the internet as long as you know what you're looking for. And then I heard a bunch of you say friends and family. And the gentleman here alluded to it. This is one that surprises me the most. Most of us have got a wealthy family member somewhere, right? When you need advice about money, that is not the person you speak to though. It's the other one at the other end of the scale. And I never understand why one broke person will go to get advice from another financially broke person. Do you know what happens when one broke person gets advice from another broke person?
They both come out broke.
They're not broke up. Together. They have some company. That's like going to get relationship advice from someone who can't hold down a relationship. I mean, how many of you got friends like that trying to give you relationship advice but can't hold down a relationship? Yeah? How many of you are sitting next to that friend right now? How many of you are that friend? Be honest. That's why you don't want to put up your hand, right? So we agree that people are uninformed, misinformed. Okay, the last one. This is one that most people, this is one that stops most people from making it financially. Procrastination. Most people say, I'm not going to